Okay, let's check in with Darren with weather. I'm way over here because it's a lot warmer. The studio can get a little cold.
Right.
I'm kind of like in Antioch right now.
Yeah, in fact, you're standing in a very important part of this story. It is pretty warm out there.
Yeah, it's nice.
You're about like 7 to 8 degrees above average out there.
I could wear shorts here.
You could wear shorts out there. Plus, there's a great visual effect because I look like a giant now and you look like a very small person back there. All right, let's put the numbers on today because I want to do a little perspective on this. If you look at the daytime highs for today, and tomorrow, there's no difference. Technically, these are tomorrow. Go ahead and pick out your part of the bay. I just wanted to start here because there's nothing doing here. Nothing has changed. You're doing the same daytime highs you've been doing all month, in fact. Since June 1st, we haven't budged. These numbers are pretty much right on the mark for average. You're right around 80 inland, upper 60s, mid to upper 60s in the city, and there really has been very little change to that. Let me give you a little perspective on this because we're living in kind of temperature bliss here in terms of the way we've been able to experience this June so far. Let me show you what I mean by that. If you take a look at a map of the West for the last 7 days, last week only, but we could do this for the whole month of June. It's color-coded on here to show you where the temperatures have been in comparison to average. Look how dramatic this is. You look across the rest of much of California, certainly the rest of the West, this has been a notably warm time period. If you look at us, we're the little blue area that was in the middle there. It's been a little below average. In fact, the closer you've been to the coast, but in general, for most of the bay, there was a white on that map showing you're pretty much coming in right at about average. There's your perspective. We have been insulated here in the bay, as we so often are, from the realities of what summer can be like across much of the West and even in through central, like where Ryan was standing. Let me show you what I mean by this. We're going to go into the forecast on the marine layer because that's coming back in tonight. Let's go back to our map. And what we'll start out by looking at is where the marine layer was this morning before it melted back. So we woke up to some gray skies, marine layer melted back. Then you see some of these higher clouds start to show up here. That's pretty harmless stuff. There's going to be more of that tomorrow. We'll have more high clouds tomorrow. I don't think we're going to have much of the marine layer tomorrow, in fact. Let's put it into the futurecast, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Here's your Saturday. We'll start out. We'll bring the progression forward. Watch the clouds build on tonight, and there's your timestamp on the bottom. So we wake up tomorrow morning, and you see a little bit of the marine layer come in through the Golden Gate. We start with gray skies. If you're in the city, the East Bay Shore, you're going to start out with sunshine in San Jose tomorrow. You'll probably have sun in the Tri-Valley. Great forecast out there, by the way, for the fair in Pleasanton. And when you take a look at what's going on in the North Bay, you'll have sunshine there too. Watch the fog melt back. So we'll clear that off. And now we're going to take it from that point and let it go back to about 1 in the afternoon. And we all get right back to where we were with just as much sunshine as we've been doing. All right, this is our locked-in pattern. And we're going to stay here through the weekend. Daytime highs I showed you already. That's going to hold for Sunday as well. It's going to hold for Monday as well. And then things are going to change. It's not like we don't have a heat wave coming. It's not even like a really big temperature spike coming our way. But the numbers are about to go up. And considering that we haven't really had to talk about that much since the end of May, here's the headline of the forecast. I'm standing in front of it. Inland temperatures going up about 10 degrees. So here's what we've been doing all month so far. By the time we get past the midpoint of June, the temperatures are finally going to start going up a bit, but it's not bad. We were worse than that at the end of May. We did have our share of heat here in the Bay at the end of May. In case you forgot, of course, if you're out in Concord and Livermore and Santa Rosa, you haven't forgotten. You had 100 degrees out there. We're not going to 100, but you do have to go back up to 90, and it won't last long. Look, we're going to cool right back down again. So you're just going to get a little taste, a little reminder. It actually is summer, and then you're going to go right back down to temperatures that are right on the mark for a very comfortable spot for where we should be for this time of year.